guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a super quick and simple way to lift and brighten your eyes using only makeup. This is going to help you look less tired, it's going to make your eyes look bigger, more wide awake, and you don't have to be a makeup expert to do this. It's actually really easy. So if you're interested in learning that, then please stick around. Now, the first thing that you are going to want to do is to actually lift the brows, because when we lift the brows, we lift the eye, everything looks more wide awake and everything looks larger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brow gel from Benefit. This is the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. This is a really good brow gel, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to comb it through my brows in an upwards direction, just sort of really layering up the hairs, getting lots of that product through there. And then I'm actually going to stick the hairs in place. This actually almost in a way moves the position of your brows, and it just helps your brows look more lifted and therefore will help your eyes look more lifted. Here's a little side by side. You can already see this side of my face looks more lifted, more awake, and my eye looks bigger already. Next up, I'm going to be adding some shadow and some color to my eyes using only matte eyeshadows. Now, this is really important because when you use shimmer eyeshadows on your lids, and especially if you've got smaller eyes or hooded eyes, adding shimmers, through the crease and kind of all over the lid of the eye can actually almost drag the eye down, because wherever you apply a shimmer, that's where the light reflects and that's kind of where your eye is drawn to. So what we like to do to really lift the eye in the best way possible is to only use shimmers on the brow bones and do the rest of the eye makeup using a matte shadow. So I've got the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam eyeshadow palette to do this. You can use any eyeshadow palette that you want as long as you are only using matte shadows. So I'm just going to be using some of the warm browns out of this one. And what I'm doing with these matte shadows is actually working them through just above where my natural crease is. So see the crease of my eye here, like at the top of my lid? I'm pretty much going to be placing my shadow brush only with the tiniest amount of brown shadow, and I'm going to be working directly above that crease. We really want to focus these shadows above the crease because we kind of want to create a bit of a false crease, which will help my eye look bigger and it will help to lift it. So just blending that shadow all through that area, really depositing the color, but keeping free of the actual lid. And then when we get to the outer corner of the eye, I'm actually going to start sweeping that shadow upwards and outwards, almost in a bit of an angular direction, imagining, an invisible line that sort of follows the edge of your lower waterline. You kind of want to sweep the shadow in that upwards direction. This again is going to help to lift and elongate the eyes. So still using that same color, I'm sweeping that shadow upwards and outwards to really lift up that eye. Switching to a slightly smaller brush, I'm going to go in with Rustic, which is the slightly darker brown. And basically just repeat the same process, just layering that color on top, continuing to add a bit of a false shadow in that area. And already this eye is looking so much bigger. And then taking a flat brush, and I will link all of the brushes that I use down below for you guys, but taking a flat brush, I'm going to take the lightest shade in the palette. You could have also used this one here, just make sure that it's a matte. And I'm just going to pack that all over the lid. See how it sort of just brightens the eyelid, it mattifies it down, but because it's a lighter color and we've got those shadows through the crease, the eye already looks so much more lifted and awake. Now you can go back in with your blending brush and just sort of smooth things out, but that is pretty much all we are doing for eyeshadow. That's how easy it is. Okay, so next up you want to take a black eyeliner pencil, a kohl pencil. You can use a little pot eyeliner, whatever you want, just make sure it's a nice dark color. And what we're going to be doing with this is actually tight lining the upper waterline. So the waterline that you've got underneath your upper lashes, we want to be applying that pencil along there. Now the easiest way that I find to do this is to just take a finger from the other hand, kind of just hold the lashes up and apply the eyeliner. Just make sure we are smudging that all through those lashes and that upper waterline. This will give the lashes thickness and density and depth, but without actually weighing down your eyes. And one thing that I will say is definitely make sure that you avoid using a black liner in the lower waterline. We definitely don't want to be doing that. Using a black through there will only close up the eyes and it's not going to help to lift them. Now you want to take a liquid liner and you actually want to draw across the top of your lashes. Now, totally up to you whether you want to do a wing. You can just line to the edge of your lashes if you want, or you can extend it out into a wing. It depends on what mood you're in, but just make sure that you keep this line really nice and slim. This is the KVD Beauty Liquid Eyeliner. It's one of my favorites because it doesn't smudge. I'm just going to carefully draw along those lashes. A great way to keep this line nice and small is to use the edge of your eyeliner. So sort of hold it flat against the eye and drag it along that way rather than going in sort of front ways. When you use it sideways, you're going to get a much thinner line. Just drawing along. Now I am going to be doing a wing today because I'm in the mood, but like I said, totally up to you whether or not you want to. Just as a reference point, if you're not doing a wing, leave it looking like this. That's perfect. But I'm going to extend it further and just create a tiny little wing on the outer corner. Okay, next up I'm going to take a couple of coats of mascara and I'm going to apply that to my upper lashes only. You don't need to apply heaps and heaps of mascara because we are actually going to be using lashes as part of this technique today. So just like a couple of thin coats is more than enough. Now grabbing a pair of lashes. These are our Ashley 2.0 lash from my brand Nikkia Cosmetics. You want to go with something lightweight and wispy, nothing that's going to in any way drag the eye down or add droopiness to the eye, and it's all about the positioning of the lashes that really makes this eye technique really work. So taking a pair of tweezers, I'm going to remove the lashes from the tray. I will definitely link these lashes and all the other products that I've used in today's video down below for you. If you've got really sensitive eyes and normally you can't do eyelashes, you'll really love these. You cannot feel them at all when they're on. And like with any pair of false lashes, you want to hold them up to your eye and just double check the length. So all of our false lashes are made to be trimmed, and you might just need to remove a little of the lashes right at the end. Just trim off, you know, it might even be just like 1 millimeter, just to make sure the band is the right length for your eye. And then I'm going to take some lash glue, apply it to the band of the lashes, and then taking the tweezers, I'm going to grab the center of the lash band and hold it. And like I said before, this technique really is all about the positioning of the lashes. So you want to start in the center of the eye, and you pretty much just want to drop the lash down onto, you know, your lash line as close as possible. I like to just hold it there for a second and make sure it's stuck. The inner corner of the lash band you want to tuck in as absolutely as close as possible to the lash line as you can get it. And then the outer corner, and this is the trick, the outer corner you actually want to position above the lash line, and you want to place it on the skin at the top of where your winged eyeliner is. So don't drag it all the way down and connect it to the lash line. Sort of place it right on the edge of the winged eyeliner. And what this really does is it gives the illusion of the eye being more lifted than if you were to apply the lash in the normal way. It's just a really quick makeup artist trick. It's been around for years and years and years, and it helps to lift and elongate the eye. I'll show you a side-by-side difference in comparison to the other side so that you can really see just how well this works. So had I applied the lashes in the normal way, see how this eye looks more droopy, more dragged down, less wide open and less awake, and the eye on this side looks really lifted and bright. If we want our eyes to look as lifted and wide and awake as possible, we never want the outer corner of the lash line to kind of dip below our eyeliner. We want to keep everything up and lifted. And then if you notice any gaps between the false lashes and your natural lashes, just color them in with a liquid eyeliner. You can also do this to help conceal any glue that might not have dried down entirely, and just make it super seamless. See how my eyes look super wide awake and lifted? It really does work. And then lastly to finish, and this trick is probably one of the oldest ones in the book, but it still makes a huge difference and I really recommend doing it. Use a nude eyeliner in the lower waterline. So obviously we've got the black in the upper waterline. Match that with a nude in the lower waterline. It kind of helps extend the white of your eye and it makes your eyes look much bigger. Now, traditionally, we did always used to do this with a white eyeliner, but I far prefer to use a nude liner. It's just a lot more natural. This one is from Revlon, and I'm just gonna run that through the lower waterline. It's just a little bit less harsh than white, but see how it's really widened and lifted that eye up even more than this side. It's just tiny little tricks. Obviously, you don't have to do all of these tricks all at once, but even if you just grab 1 or 2 of them, it really will make a big difference to how wide and awake your eyes look. What you can also do with this nude eyeliner is actually trace very softly along the lower part of your brow there. So right underneath the brow, just very softly drawing that in. I really like these eyeliners from Revlon because on the other end, they actually have a little sponge. And you can use the little sponge to sort of smudge it in. Alternatively, you could just use a tiny little eyeshadow brush. Just sort of smudge that in the tiniest little bit. That's going to help lift the brow even further and therefore lift the eye. And here are my finished eyes. They are lifted, they're wider, they look more awake. All of these techniques are super effective, and like I said, you can pick and choose which ones you want to use, mix them up, use them all, or only use one. It will definitely go a long way to helping your eyes look more lifted and more awake. But as always, guys, please let me know if you've got any questions about anything that you saw in today's video. As always, I am here to help. I'm here to answer questions, so pop all your questions down below. All the products will be linked. I love you guys heaps. I hope the video was helpful, and I will catch you in my next one.